Hello, everyone, and good day. Today, we have a very special video in store for you to deal with manipulative people and protect your energy and stay strong. Ready to get into it? Let's go. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. And today, we're diving into a really important topic: how to deal with manipulative people. Whether it's at work, in a friendship, or even in a romantic relationship, manipulation can be draining and toxic. But the good news is that once you can identify these behaviors and set boundaries, you can protect yourself and take back your life. We'll go over how to spot manipulation, set boundaries, emotionally detach, and ultimately build our inner strength to resist it. If this song's helpful to you, stick around and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested in more videos like this one. All right? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna identify manipulative behavior. Let's go. Right. So identifying manipulative behavior. The first step in dealing with manipulative people is to learn to recognize the signs. Manipulators have subtle and sometimes not so subtle tactics to act or to make you feel guilty, confused, or even responsible for their behavior. Here are some of the most common signs to watch out for. Number one, guilt tripping. They'll make you feel bad for something you didn't do or make you question your actions. Number two, gaslighting. This is where they'll deny something that happened to make you question your own reality. You might hear things like, that never happened, or you're being too sensitive. Three, playing the victim. They twist situations so that no matter what, they're the ones who is being wronged. And the fourth thing is emotional blackmail. They may threaten to do something to you, to withhold affection, or to act hurt, or to get what they want from you. All right. Now, I've prepared a little video presentation to help us with this. And let's check this out.
Narcissists use manipulation to control their partners. Let's uncover how it's done with 3 real-life examples. First up, imagine this. You're in a relationship, and your partner constantly makes you feel guilty for things you didn't do. That's not an accident. It's called guilt tripping, and narcissists use it to make you feel responsible for their emotions. They manipulate your feelings, making you doubt yourself. Next, ever felt isolated from your friends and family because of your partner? That's isolation, a classic form of control. Narcissists use it to cut you off from your support system. It works by making you dependent on them. Lastly, have you ever been showered with excessive praise and then suddenly ignored? That's love bombing followed by the silent treatment. Narcissists use it to keep you off balance and craving their approval. Manipulation hides in plain sight, but now you know how to spot it. Stay sharp, stay aware, and don't let anyone pull your strings. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more insights.
All right. So, yeah, you see how much trouble we can get ourselves in if you don't know the signs of manipulation within a relationship. Please put into the comment section below if you have ever experienced any sort of behavior like that from your partner, your colleague, your co-worker, your brother, your sister, or practically anybody that you have a day-to-day run-in with. Let us know in the comment section. So the second thing that we are going to do, now that we have identified manipulative behavior, we have got to set some strong boundaries. Now, in setting boundaries, you need to know how to set up some boundaries. Now that you know the signs of manipulation, let's talk about how to protect ourselves. One of the most effective ways to deal with manipulators is to set strong and clear boundaries. Boundaries are basically the rules for how others can treat you. Here are a few ways to set them. Number one, be assertive, but not aggressive. You don't have to be rude, but you have to be firm. You could say something like, I'm not okay with that, or I am not okay with the way that you are talking to me, or I need space when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Use I statements to communicate your feelings. For example, I feel uncomfortable when you pressure me into decisions. This focuses on your feelings instead of accusing the other person, which can prevent escalating tension. And the third thing is stick to your boundaries. Many of us that have been having difficulties in relationships, and especially if we are involved with a narcissist or with a cluster B personality, and put a comment down below and let me know if you want me to talk about cluster B personalities. All right. So if you're dealing with a narcissist or any of the other cluster B personalities, you'll recognize that one of the reasons why they will continue to manipulate us is because we don't have boundaries or we don't enforce our boundaries clear enough. All right. So manipulative people will often push back when you set limits. They may test to see if they can get away with some of the behavior that they are portraying to you. So you have got to make sure that you set your boundaries, that you stay firm, and remember that your well being comes first. Let's do a quick role play example. Imagine someone is trying to guilt trip you into doing something that you're not comfortable with. And they might come along and let me say that you don't smoke. They'll come along and say, hey, boy, I have the thing here for you. Let me go and take a little smoke in the corner there now. You can respond with something like, I understand you feel strongly about this, but I need to do what is right for me. Simple, direct, and respectful. All right. So that is how we have got to be when we are dealing with with personalities like that. We've got to make sure that we have strong boundaries set up. All right. Let's go to the third thing, which is staying emotionally detached. Another key strategy is learning to stay emotionally detached. When I say being emotionally detached, I mean that when we are responding to whether it is an action or some words or a directive from the other person, that we extract or we take our emotions out of it. Manipulators thrive on emotional reactions. It is like drugs to them. It is how they get their dopamine fix. The more you get upset, the more power they feel that they have over you. The more they can point their fingers and you see, that is why I don't like to talk to you, or that is why I don't want to get anything, I don't like to say anything, because you are responding with your emotions. So the goal is to not engage in their tactics or not to engage with their tactics. Here's how we can do that. Number one, we need to stay calm. When someone tries to manipulate you, take a deep breath and don't react immediately. Responding calmly can disarm them. Number two, don't take it personally. Often, manipulators are projecting their own insecurities onto you. Their behavior says more about them than it does about you. So that is why we need to educate ourselves when it comes to relationships and the personalities that we are engaging with in these relationships. All right. Because when you engage with a narcissist or an all narcissists, whether we are talking about the overt narcissist or the malignant narcissist, or whether you're talking about the covert narcissist, or whether you're talking about the communal narcissist, and everything in between, you've got to understand that all of them use some type of manipulative tactics. And so protecting your own self, right? They project their insecurities onto you. So you have got to learn to protect your own self from their projection of their insecurities. And it is not about you, it says more about them. All right. So the third way of staying emotionally detached is to limit our emotional responses. If you respond with too much emotion, they will use it to their advantage. Keep your responses neutral. In other words, things like, I don't understand, or I'll think about that, can prevent them from getting a rise out of you. It is not always easy, but the less you engage emotionally, the less they can control you. Now, this is very difficult to do, especially if you are new into this whole scenario. So, I would suggest practicing in front of a mirror, more so, educate yourself. And if you want to know more about narcissistic personalities, the narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, or the cluster B personalities, please write, tell me more in the description so that we can let you know, of course, some more. All right. The fourth thing is you've got to learn to build your inner strength. Building your inner strength is going to help you to be resistant to a lot of these personalities. I am very sure that you would have heard a lot of people talk about, I don't know what's going on now. I don't know what's happening. Every time I come out of a relationship, I find myself back into a relationship with the same type of people. And we usually build such a huge wall that we don't let anybody come in. These are the cat ladies, the dog ladies, or the dog men, the cat guys, the people that just get into their work. And but we were built to engage with people. So instead of going from one extreme to the next, okay, let me explain that. We are in a relationship, and we always find ourselves in engaging with the same type of people, right? And instead of checking ourselves, we blame everybody else, and we feel like the world is that is how the world is, and we go to the other extreme and we block everybody off when the problem really stems from us. The reason why you end up back into the same type of relationship is because you're not learning from your past mistakes, and you are not doing some introspection and looking at yourself rather than looking to others. All right. So let's talk about building our inner strength. The stronger you are mentally and emotionally, the less vulnerable you will be to manipulation. If you find, as I said before, if you find that you are always in manipulative relationship, it is less about the other person now, and it is more about you. You find yourself in these type of relationship because you succumb to not gaslighting, but to love bombing, which is a clear sign of manipulation. Love bombing has always been and will always be not love, but manipulation. And a lot of us get hooked on that, both male and female. The females will love bomb you, they will sex bomb you, they will allure you, pull you in, tell you all of the sweetest things because they want to get something out of you. And it isn't always about money. Sometimes it is about you telling them nice things, you telling them how good they are, how lovely they are, how you like how they do this and how do you like, and that is called the narcissistic supply. So don't get it fooled that the person is always involved with you for money. It is not always about that. Sometimes they have such a low self-esteem that the person that they want to manipulate tells them all of these nice things, and it makes them feel good inside, because they cannot feel good on the inside by themselves. They hate themselves deep down. They hate how they react to things. They just hate themselves. So they need you to keep on lifting them up and fluffing them with all types of niceties and telling them all such of grandiose things, which is their narcissistic supply. All right. So that is just to let you know. So the reason why you succumb to that is because you don't understand the personalities. So the more you understand the personalities and the more you recognize that if you're into a relationship for the very first time and you are telling the person, and you recognize that the person is coming at you very, very hard with a lot of love bombing, you can step back. All right. Step back, take a step back. And although you like what they are saying, you take a little step back and see if that person is going to be consistent. One of the things with love bombing is that once they draw you in, they begin to knock you down with all types of disrespectful gestures, all types of self disrespecting things, the snide remarks. They will snipe at you with all kind of degrading remarks after they feel that they have drawn you in. And this is what you've got to be mindful of. So self-awareness is a key. Take some time to reflect on what you want, on how you feel, and what behaviors make you uncomfortable. Journaling can be a great way to process your feelings. If you want to know, or if you want to get a specific journal that deals with that, you can click the link in the description and you will have a journal. We have journals on our Amazon page that you can get for yourself. Journaling can be a way to process your feelings and to recognize patterns in the relationship that you have. You've got to, number two, boost your self-esteem. Manipulators often target people who are unsure of themselves. Remember we talk about that? Yes. So if you find you're always being targeted by manipulators, as I said, it's a you problem. So you've got to boost now your self-esteem by working on your confidence, whether it's through affirmations, setting personal goals, or surrounding yourself with supportive people. You become more resilient now to manipulation. The third thing is therapy or counseling. Therapy and counseling can also be super helpful in you dealing with a particularly manipulative person, whether it's a spouse, a brother, a sister, or a coworker. Sometimes talking to a professional can give you the tools to stand up for yourself and work through any doubts or confusion that you might have. When you know yourself and you trust in your own worth, manipulators lose their power over you. And here's the thing: if you are in a romantic relationship and that person was manipulative, whether it's the man was a manipulative or the woman was manipulative, here is where it hurts. Because you, the ordinary person, you love this individual, but when you stop supplying them with their narcissistic supply, they automatically discard you. And now you feeling hurt and you feeling like they don't love you. Sir or ma'am, they never loved you anyway. It was all about how you made them feel. Narcissists and manipulators, cluster B personalities, is quite different. How they process things, how they see things is quite different to how an ordinary person is. And so that's why education is the key. And the fifth thing that we need to look at, all right, That was number 4. The fifth thing that we need to look at. And before we get into the fifth thing, we want to ask you to please like and subscribe to this channel if you think that this information is of vital use to you, if you are enjoying what we or learning, yeah, both enjoying and learning what we are presenting to you, please. Right, there we go. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Click the little notification bell. That way, you will always be notified when we have new videos uploaded to YouTube. So let's go over the 4 things before we enter into the fifth one. Number 1, you need to identify manipulative behavior. Love bombing is a way of manipulating. Number 2, gaslighting is a way of manipulation. Number 3, what I call reverse blaming, where they do something wrong, but you are being blamed for it. That is also part of manipulative behavior. Number 2, setting boundaries. You need to set strong boundaries so that the manipulative person cannot walk all over you. By letting people know you don't appreciate their attitude, you don't appreciate how they talk to you, you don't appreciate how they are trying to force you into do things, you are setting strong boundaries. Number 3, staying emotionally detached. That means you respond to their actions or what they do by simply removing your emotion out of it. Don't be angry. Don't go into a screaming rage. Don't sound like a screaming, raging banshee. Remove all of your your emotions from your responses and or actions. Number 4, building inner strength. We talk about that by having people around you to talk to you. Talking to a therapist can help. Getting involved in some sort of activity that helps to build your mental capacity. Going to the gym does that for you. And as I said before, yes, it might be you pushing weights, but when you reach to the point that you can't make it anymore, your mind tells you, yes, you can do it. If you have a good spotter, they will tell you, yeah, come on, let's give me one more rep. One more rep. That's all I want from you. Just one more rep and then we good. One more rep and then you can go to the water cooler. Just one more rep. And with all of the strength in your have, you engage your mind and your mind speak to your muscles and your muscle says, yes, we can do it. And you push that barbell all the way up, lock it back into place, building emotional strength. Yeah, so that helps. So the fifth thing that we want to look at is knowing when to walk away. My friends, my brothers, my sisters, my colleagues, all of us have a breaking point. And sometimes staying in the relationship does not make any sense. You have got to value you. If you do not value you, nobody is going to value you because everybody wants you to stay in the relationship. The manipulator wants you to stay in the relationship because it is beneficial to them. But what are you benefiting from? You've got to answer that question for your own self. Sometimes, no matter what you do, the manipulative person will not, cannot, and won't change. And that is when it is time to ask yourself, is this relationship really worth it? Walking away can be the best decision, especially if the manipulation has become a pattern. Some of us cannot recognize the pattern right away because these manipulators, sometimes they're very, very sweet. Sometimes they're very, very good. Sometimes they cook for you. Sometimes they do all nice things for you. They take you out to dinner. They wash your clothes. They do all of these things. But you spend more time being manipulated than you are being treated well. It's important to recognize when someone is unwilling or incapable of respecting your boundaries. Here are a few signs. It's time to distance yourself or to leave. Number 1, they constantly disregard your feelings and your boundaries. Anytime you're in a relationship and the person is only concerned about themselves and they disregard how you feel and your boundaries, it's time to leave. Number two, you feel emotionally drained or anxious when you are around them. When you are around them, it's always it drain you emotionally because talking with them is like pulling teeth. You're always in an argument. You're always scrolling. You can't seem to settle because all narcissists and cluster B personalities, they say they don't like drama, they say they don't want any drama, but they are the ones that are the epitome of drama. Drama is part of the personality disorder, and they cannot see it within themselves. But the other person on the other side, they are the ones who are continually experiencing that. And so if you feel emotionally drained or anxious, this is a signal that you need to leave. The third thing is they refuse to take responsibility for their actions and they always blame you. I always say, and you have some people will disagree with me, but I always say you cannot have two people in a relationship and only uh, one person's happiness matters. You cannot be in a relationship where there's two people and only one person alone has to needs all of the how to say how Lord, I don't know what the words to use here. They need all of the fluffing. They need you always have to be encouraging them. There isn't a time where they can encourage themselves. You always have to be beating the drum, singing the trumpet, and be there like a cheerleader with your pom poms. You always have to be cheering them up because if you don't do that, they are always in the doldrums. That is emotionally draining because sometimes what about you? You would need at some point in time somebody to encourage you. So the third thing is they refuse to take responsibility for their actions and they always blame you. They always down. They always sad. If you ask them how their day was, their day is always not good because you were responsible for that. Remember, you don't owe anyone your peace or happiness. You don't owe anyone your peace or happiness. You deserve to be in a relationship that is supportive, that is respectful, and that is uplifting. All right. So, that is our 5 things that we have outlined there in terms of how to deal with a manipulator. So, to wrap things up, dealing with manipulative people can be tough, but by recognizing the signs, setting clear boundaries, staying emotionally detached, and building your own inner strength, you can take control of your life and protect your well being. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and don't forget to subscribe for more content on personal growth and mental health. And I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, and if you've dealt with manipulation before, we would like to know how you handle it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So take care, everybody. And this is Desborne O'Neil for now saying bye. Take care, guys.